Okay, finishing off Daf Daled Amud Beis. And then we'll try to do a review of Daf Daled for the Daf Hashavua test. So we ended off on the second line. On the second line at the wide lines, V'savar, the last word on the line. V'savar Rebbe Ayoros lo dachina liyom haknisa. Does Rebbe hold that the open cities, we don't make them move back to the Yom HaKnisa? Are you telling me that when the 14th comes out on what? On Friday, we tell the open cities to read on Friday and the villagers to read on Thursday. We don't push the open cities back to the Yom HaKnisa. But Tanya, we learned in a Brisa. We're going to bring down a Tanakam of Rebbe and then Rebbe. And we're going to ask from Rebbe. But Tanya, Chalios b'Shabbos. Let's say it comes out, Moshe, on Shabbos instead of coming out on Friday. So we know Kfarim Makdim Liyom HaKnisa. So this is the Tanakama. Don't get nervous. The villagers read on Thursday. Vayaris Gedolos Korem Erev Shabbos, and the open cities read on Erev Shabbos. And the walled cities read the next day on Sunday. Now here's Rebbe. Rebbe Omer. Omerani, I say, once the open cities can't read on Shabbos, once we push them back, Yidchul Yom HaKnisa, we bring them back to the day of Knisa, which is what day? Of Thursday. Instead of them reading on Shabbos, which is the 14th, they're going to read on Thursday, which is the 12th. Okay, so the Gemara asks, so you see you do push them off. You just got finished saying that you don't push the unwalled cities back to the Yom HaKnisa. We see that what? That we do when it comes out on Shabbos, we do pull them back. Answers the Gemara. So the Gemara says like this. The Gemara says, Hachi Ashta. What shaykh is Hachi Ashta? One thing has nothing to do with another. Ashta. Hasam Zmanam Shabbat. In the Brisa, the Zman is Shabbos. A very obvious answer. Behold, the Nitchi Yitchu. And once we pull them back from Shabbos, we say, you know what, we'll just stick them on Thursday. And actually, that's the wording of Rebbe. But over here, Zmanam Erev Shabbos. When it's on when the 14th comes out, on the Zman is Erev Shabbos, that's their day. So therefore, we leave them on that day. Says the Gemara further. Kiman Azla, the Gemara is now going to say a statement. I know who goes like. Man Azla Hodam Rab Chelba Amar Rav Huna. Who does it go like this? Rab Chelba sudden name Rav Huna. Purim Shechalios b'Shabbos. If Purim pulls out on Shabbos, Hakol Nidchel Yom HaKnisa. Everyone goes back to the Yom HaKnisa. So the Gemara wants to know who's that like. Everybody? So says the Gemara, Hakol Nidchen Sal Kedaitach. How is it possible that everyone's going to get pulled back? It's one thing that the open walled cities get pulled back, and the farm, of course, get pulled back. But the walled cities, that doesn't make sense. Hakol Nidchen Sal Kedaitach Ikum Ukavin. There's the walled cities that their day is not on Shabbos the 14th. They anyway read the next day. The Abdi Lamacha, they're the ones that do it the next day. Answers the Gemara, Ella rather kol anidche yidchel yom haknisa. What the Brisa means is anyone that's getting pulled back already, kol anidche, who's getting pushed out of their day, yidchel yom haknisa, they get pushed back. They get pushed to the yom haknisa. But of course, the walled cities are going to read when? They're going to read the next day on Sunday. Keman Kerebi, says the Gemara. It's going like Rebbe and our Mishnah and Rabbi Yossi, like we spoke about before. Okay, says the Gemara. At the end of the day, everyone seems to agree, and everyone does agree, that on Shabbos we don't read the Megillah. My time. What's the reason? The Gemara is giving down two reasons. Amar Rabbah, this is what we had brought down earlier about Rabbah when we spoke about that we darshan on Shabbos about the Megillah when the 14th comes out on Shabbos. Amar Rabbah, Hakol Chayavim b'Kriyas Megillah. Everyone's chayav in Kriyas Megillah, ve'ein Hakol b'Kiyam b'Mikra Megillah. But not everyone is not everyone are experts in reading the Megillah. So therefore, Gzeir Shema Yitlenu b'Yado, we're scared that if we pick up that you're going to read the Megillah on Shabbos, what's going to happen? Shema Yitlenu b'Yado, maybe he'll take it in his hand. The Yelech v'Eitzel Baki, go to an expert, Lilmo to learn, and he's going to carry 4 amos in Rosh Hashanah, which is an Isser D'Oraisa. V'hainu time of the shofar. That's the same reason of shofar. V'hainu time of the lulav, and that's the same reason of lulav. Now Rashi Tosas asks the question: why is the Gemara so concerned only about 4 amos in Rosh Hashanah? There's another Issa D'Oraisa that we have to be concerned about, taking it from Rishus Hayachid to Rishus Harabim, right? So it seems the Mefarshim speak out that it seems that that's what Rashi is bothered by, because if you look, he says V'yavirenu arba amos, says Rashi, V'afilu lon b'sadeh, and that would include even someone that doesn't have a house. If someone has a house, Rishus Hayachid, he's going to carry from where? From Rishus Hayachid to Rishus Harabim. But even someone in a field, Megillah biyado, and he has a Megillah in his hand, yesh ligzar ladavar. Notice we want to include everybody into this, even if someone doesn't have a Rishus Hayachid. Says Gemara further. Rabbi Yosef Amar. Rabbi Yosef says another reason why we read the Megillah. We don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. The Aniyim are looking forward. They look toward the Mikra Megillah, because what happens on the day of Mikra Megillah? They get Matanos Levionim. They're able to pay for some things, pay for a meal. So therefore, and therefore, we don't want to take that away from them by reading on Shabbos, because when we read on Shabbos, then that's not going to happen. They're not going to get the money on that day. And therefore, they'll get the money, but they won't get the money that day. So we don't want to take away that feeling from them and hope. So therefore, we push it off. Tosfos does speak out that even Rabbi Yosef, the second answer, still has to hold like Rabbah, that we have such a concept of being fearful that someone might carry an item arba amos. Why? Because we have that gzeira by shofar. We have that gzeira by lulav, and in those cases, we're not concerned about the aniyim. There's nothing going on for the aniyim. So therefore, Tosfos does speak out that according to Rabbi Yosef, he still would have to hold of Rabbah, of the first reason. Tani Namiyachi, 3 lines from the bottom. Even though we say that the Kfarim move back to the Yom HaKnisa, still, even though we do that and they read, let's say early, Govim Bo Bayom, we still collect tzedakah that day, Umechalkim Bo Bayom, and hand it out that day. Ask the Gemara, just a question on the wording. Well, slow down. You just said, even though we pull it back, we still collect money and give it out on that day. That's not what you should say. You should say, even though we pull it back, says, ask the Gemara, Afal Pisha Amru, even though, Adarabba, Mishum, because we pull it back, so then we collect for the aniyim on that day, not even though. So says the Gemara, say Adarabba, Mishum the Amruhu. It should say because we pull it back, because we have it earlier. Ella rather, says the Gemara, that's what it means. Howel, but what the Brisa means is Howel, since Ba'amru, and we said Shakfarim Makdim Yom HaKnisa, since we said that the Kfarim go advance to the Yom HaKnisa, Govim Bo Bayom, we're still going to collect that day, Mechalkim Bo Bayom, and we're going to give it out that day, because the Neim of the eyes of the Aniyim look toward the Mikra Megillah with the hope of getting some money. Now, just for a quick Chazara, the Gemara started off, as you remember, on Daf Daled Amud Aleph, starts from the last 2 words on the Gimel and Beis. Barmai B'Shuv and Levi, there were 3 cities that we said were in Yamin, Lud, On, Ge'ach, and we said, Yeshuv and Levi's telling us that it's Mukavas Chom and Yosef Shuv and Nun. Make sure to know, because they're going to ask us, why would we think differently? Rashi says, top Rashi, because the walls of those cities were newer, and therefore we would think that they're not from the times of Yeshua ben Nun. Another point you have to know is, where did he get this from? Gomer la Yeshua ben Nun me Rabbi. He learned this from his Rebbe. Okay, on that the Gemara says, El Pal built it. Then the Gemara said, maybe Asa built it. And the Gemara says, obviously it just means it fell down and they rebuilt it. Okay, says the Gemara further, speaks about Pilagish Begiba. Okay, we speak about the women. They were also part of the Nes. Of course, I'm assuming they're going to ask on the Daf Hashavua test that Rashi, in what way were they part of the Nes? Because Haman, says Rashi, Shaf, Alanashim Gazar Haman Lahashmid Laharo Gulabed, he also wanted to destroy and kill them. That's a very important spot. It's an easy one, but I'm assuming they're going to ask it. It does mention, I don't know if there's a question on this, but Shol and Medarshan, that we learn on Yontif, on Purim, on Bo Bayom, when it calls on Shabbos, we have someone darshan about Mikra Megillah, and Rashi just says we put up a Turguman, someone that perfects what whoever's speaking, can have a mic system, and the Meturguman speaks out loud what he's saying. Then we did say, and very easy question, but important nonetheless, is that what's the reason that what's the chiddush in that? Why would I have to know? Of course, you could darshan on Shabbos. You even darshan on regular Yom Tovim where there's no Persumanisa. We spoke at the Tosar Rosh. So of course you're going to darshan on Purim. So Mara says, because I might think that we should be concerned, Gzeira, just like we don't read the Megillah on Purim, so we don't what, says Rashi. Rashi explains that so too we should be Afkan Gazru Drasha Atu Kriya. We should have a Gzeira that we shouldn't have a Drasha because of the reason, because we don't do a Kriya. Then we brought down the Gemara that we read, Amri Shuvah and Levi, that you read the Megillah at night, Ushnosa Bayom, and you read it again by day. There were two ways the Bnei Shiva didn't know what Lushnosa Bayom is. They thought it meant what? That you learn the Mishnais of Megillah on that day. And that Gemara says, no, that it doesn't. It means that Rabbi Yirmiyah said that it means that even that it's the way people speak out when they say that they learned something over again. Lishnosa means to repeat it again. Then we spoke at two different psukim. The Gemara says of Lamatzeach Shachar, which speaks out that we do it by night and by day, and also Lamani Zamerch Loidom, Shema Lokai Lamadeka. Both of them are speaking about Esther. Very good. And one other thing Rashi does mention, that it says Min Biri, says it brings out Rab Chia Barabba Amar Rabbi Chelba Amar Bira. It calls Ula Bira. Why? Says Rashi because he was from Biri. Okay, turn to Dalet Amud Beis. There we spoke out that the takana for the villagers reading early, we thought the takana was for the open cities. The Gemara comes out that no, we see that when there's no bezin on Sheni v'Chamishi, we don't allow the villagers to read early. Why not? They're helping out the open walled cities. So it's a proof, says the Gemara, that it's not for the what? For the open cities that we allow the villagers to read early. Rather, what's the reason? Is because of the schar. It's Ela'ema mipnei misapkin, says Rashi. It's the reward that since they do such a great job a whole year, so we give them this, they'll be able to have an easy Purim and be able to read so that they could do what they need on Purim and sell their wares on Purim, actually. Okay, so then the Gemara mentions Asakasha, that why does the Mishnah mention the dates in order? Yud Aleph, Yud Beis, Gimel, Yud Aleph, Tesvav. But at the end of the Mishnah, it says the days of the week in order, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, and we infer dates that end up being backwards. I'm saying it very vaguely, but it's a chazara. And the Mar answers because if we would want to do the dates forward, we would have to do the days of the week backwards. Look back at that share, and you'll see shot in that, and that would mix us up even more. Then we bring down that the Mishnah could be Rebbe, could be Rabbi Yossi, and we bring down different shatim of the Tanakama of Rebbe, what the main thing is for him, Tanakama Rabbi Yossi, Rebbe, Rabbi Yossi, each one learns B'chol Shana Shana for something else. Hatzlacha Rabba on the Bechina. Take care, guys.